Alright, so another project I've kind of been working on is testing different paint, chrome paint specifically, to see if any of them actually look like chrome. And these aren't any fancy mail orders. These are all ones that I found at local stores, stuff I can get locally, just to see if any of them do look like chrome. And also, do any of them look like aluminum? Because most of them will look somewhat like aluminum, and that's kind of what I actually want on parts of this mini bike, is to make things look like aluminum. It's kind of hard to make out, but they're actually all on this one tube in different bands. You can see that one down there looks nothing like it. That one on the end is horrible. The other three are, actually the other four are really close. The one on the end here is a little bit darker. It's not coming out real smooth. I need to put a few more coats on it, see if it cleans up. But I like the color on that as far as looking like chrome. This next one has a color like the other two, but is not laying down well at all. These other two, they go on really heavy. They both look about the same. Let me pull this off here. Bring it over here. So, this end, that was just an experiment. It's not even supposed to work for this, but that looking glass silver, it's a mirror paint. And no, you can't use it as a surface paint. Then, you got dupli-color. Looks just like a kind of gray metallic paint. Not very good at all. The two that look most like aluminum, and they lay down really heavy and are pretty much identical, are the plastic coat and the Valspar. Rust-oleum, metallic, bright, reflective finish. Does not lay down well. Same color as the Valspar, but does not lay down well. Rust-oleum, the cheap metallic finish Rust-oleum, I like the color of it. I'm just trying to figure out how to get it to, it goes down really light, so this is a lot of really light coats. I need to get a few more on it. The lighting in here is not the greatest, but it's got the most chrome-like color of all of them. So as far as aluminum look, these two, I'm hoping that in contrast with those two will make that one look a little more like chrome when applied to the mini bike. So I'd like to do, you know, the engine guard, the wheels, in more of a aluminum look, and maybe the forks and the handlebars more of a chrome look. The problem being that this is already chrome, so anything in comparison to that is going to look like crap. So we'll see. Maybe I'll just do the whole thing in aluminum. On the uprights, paint the center section and bracket all black. Still working on that. Oh, I'd also like to do, so those springs are actually two shorter springs that I welded together in the middle. And I want to paint those in kind of a chrome look too, but it doesn't have to be perfect. Alright, this is not in position yet, but here's what I'm working on for a chain guard. It's not going to be the prettiest thing, but should do okay. It's just, everything's just tacked together now, and these mount legs will be shorter because they only have to go down to those two holes. Right now they go way past, but made them long to start with. These are actually just bits of tin from an old broken box fan. using those pieces with a bit of the angle left in them, which is just another part of this, just to give them a little more rigidity since they're just stamped thin gauge metal. But I think that'll work for the rear chain guard. The more difficult one is going to be the front, since that one's completely busted up. I don't want to reuse that, so I'm going to try and make a new front one. The original one hung off of those brackets. Just kind of, I don't know exactly if there was any hardware fastening it on or not, or if it was just the plastic hung on those. But when I got it, it was zip tied back there. The whole bottom was busted out, and it just hung on those top two and that zip tie. So, my version will probably involve taking these tabs down so that they're just flush there, and drilling and tapping those. But we'll see. I haven't quite worked that out yet. Gotta finish this back one. Okay, well, it's nothing fancy, but it's at least a guard. And it'll be painted black in the end. And now I gotta start thinking about making this guard. And I'm not exactly sure how I'm gonna do it. Okay, this is what I was attempting. It was kind of a cop-out cheat, but it didn't work anyway. Using more of that same box fan sheet metal that I had laying around. I was gonna see if the radius would work, but it's just, no. It's too large a radius. The bottom, if I finished that, the bottom would end up way down there, and it's such crappy metal, it's not worth spending a lot of time trying to make it work. I was just going to see if I could make something quick and dirty for the curve, patch the holes, and then put a nice piece over the front, but no. It's not worth it, that cheap crappy metal. On to the next attempt. Alright, so here's the next attempt. Started here. So this piece will go on here. So I have a seamless curve around the front. Come to the back. It's spun out a little bit, but it'll be like that against the tabs. This piece will be the back part. I have to tighten that curve up just a little, but it will come up the back side, and it'll be trimmed. It'll be trimmed on the inside edge here so that it doesn't interfere with that chain. It'll come back to about here, and then the outside will curve up around this chain, be tacked to the top of the top piece. So that's one continuous loop that I will then put a face piece on. Alright, that's the basic right there. The outer ring. Make a piece to come over the front. Let's tie it all together. That'll notch it just a little more. I think it's going to rival against the rear guard, but yeah, I think that'll work. Alright, I think that's going to be it for today. So, as always, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe.